What's happening, guys? This is Butcher. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the wrong stuff people do in Dota 2, and it's going to cover a lot of topics, but I'm just going to, Okay, so before I even get started, map awareness. If you go into lane and you die, and then you come back into that lane and you die again to the same exact situation, then you need to do something different. If people are missing off the map, like for example, if there is a Nyx, Pudge, any invis hero like Ricky on the map, and you're like a PA and this tower is down and you're farming over here, and you're just like, oh okay, I'm gonna farm and hope to God that he's not gonna gank me, that's just not gonna work, right? So you need to just pay attention to that, and that's the biggest reason. That's one of the biggest difference between good players and bad players. They, like, anytime you get ganked and there's a lot of heroes off the map, you're basically giving away free gold. But if you just backed out and just, like, as soon as somebody's off the map, like an important hero like a Pudge or something, just don't farm, and it's better to play a little passive for a little bit until they show up on the map again than to just feed. Because, Another thing is, I'm going to go over two situations. So, for example, you have a good early game team, and you have two roaming supports like a Lion and a CM or something, and they're ganking and your lanes are going great, and the opponent has junglers, so they're like at a disadvantage. So if the game goes passive without any kills, they're automatically winning. So even though it's 0-0, if it goes like 5 minutes into the game and your supports are rotating but they're not getting kills, or your supports are not even rotating, then you're doing something wrong. Like, you need to take advantage that they have a jungler and you have two supports. So tell your team to gank or whatever. The support's job is to do that. If you have a passive team, like a late game team, so like you have Void and really shitty lanes, and you have like a jungler and they have supports, then you need to be super passive and basically just take the losses that you're gonna like minimize the losses that you're gonna have early game. You're not gonna win early game because you have such passive heroes. So just be okay to go like 2-10 in the first I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes of the game. But then all you need to do is just prolong the game until you go to late game. This brings me to my next point. The reason throws happen so often in pubs is because people don't know what to do when they're winning. So for example, you have like all these, like, you won all your lanes, all 3 lanes, you destroyed, you're winning 20-5, right? But the opponent has a Void, a Medusa, a Ricky, and I don't know, some other late game heroes, right? And your team, for some fucking reason, wants to farm. So you have like a Void that just keeps farming, right? And you're pushing S5 or S4 mid. And you take the tier 1 towers are usually pretty easy. That's what people don't fuck up. They go, this tower, and this tower is pretty easy. But then your team can either go to farm, and because you're so much higher level, suppose you're winning by 15,000 experience, right? Every single kill that they get on you, they get so much more experience out of it than every single kill you get on them. That's why every single time you trade or evenly trade by the number of kills or deaths, you're not really evenly trading, they're catching up. And if they have a late game team, by like 50 minutes the game's already over. They're just going to take over late game. It doesn't matter if you're winning by 30,000 gold, 30,000 experience, they're just late game, they're going to destroy you unless you build your items towards it. So what you need to do, if you're an early game team, tell your fucking team what to do. And for another matter, don't always listen to your teammates. Like, if your teammates are always telling you to gank, or if your teammates are going like, oh dude, let's go gank him, and you're like, no, that's a bad idea, it's probably a bait, don't always listen to your team. There's a lot of retards out there, so just like, if they keep bashing you, just fucking mute them. But tell your team to either push S5, take control of the opponent's jungle. That's the most important thing ever. Like, this is so much gold that spawns like every single 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. So, and wards too. If you're winning, don't put defensive wards up on your side of the map. Put wards on the opponent's side of the map. It only makes sense, right? And focus on their carries. Like, don't focus on killing their supports. Just focus that their carries are not farming, and then you're fine. So you take away this tower, and if you're dire, you take away these 3 towers, and you take control of the jungle. And then, if they have a really good turtle lineup, like a Tinker, right? All you need to do is just keep control of both jungles. So you put one hero here, and then others are like rotating around. And if you're a Pudge, just stay on this side of the map and get like items that will prevent you from going back to base. So arcane boots, urn, and blink dagger, and just make sure that the opponent is not farming. And when they're all here for the entire game, you're just snowballing so hard. And what you need to do is either catch one out as soon as you kill somebody, just go high ground, and don't ever push the fucking mid tower. This tower is so hard to siege compared to this tower or this tower. Same goes for the mid tower is the worst to siege. So don't ever siege it, because I mean it's just better. Just trust me. I'm not gonna go into it, but it's just a lot better. It's easier to siege the outside towers. Take away all of the outside towers before you go into the base, so when you win you can take at least 2 Raxes. And this is a handy rule that I have, that I apply. If it's before 25 minutes and you've gotten 1 Rax, you have a really good chance of winning the game. If it's before 40 minutes and you have 2 Raxes, you pretty much already won the game. Like 90% chance you're gonna win. But if it's 50 minutes into the game and you have double Raxes, don't assume you're gonna win, because the opponent heroes are so strong and it's already deep into late game that 2 Raxes don't really mean nothing. Like the gold or whatever, the creeps or whatever, but the opponent can just charge in. If they have like a troll warlord or a tiny, they can kill all of your throne in like less than 10 seconds. So just don't rely on that. And if it's like 60 minutes into the game and you have mega creeps, you pretty much win the game, but that's not always. Like you can still throw. And this is probably the biggest thing that people do. So you're winning, right? You're winning 30 to 10, and you're sieging their tower, and you have a fucking idiot Tide Hunter. Well, not an idiot, but he's just overconfident, and he's, for example, he's like here, and he forces a fight that he shouldn't be forcing. So he jumps into here, he does his double ravage, the opponent is slow, right? But they all start running away and you start chasing them. But you're taking so much tower damage from these towers, right? You literally die to a tier 4 tower for God knows what reason. And you just die because the towers kill you, and the opponent, I mean, they might even buy back and make sure they win the team fight. You get team wiped, and then it's so much harder to break their base again, because they jumped like 10,000 gold, 10,000 experience just off that fight, because they were so much lower level than you guys that they just won the team fight altogether. So don't force fights, and if somebody jumps in like that, your teammate, you can't control that, don't follow him in there. Like, just tell your team to back out. Another thing, people focus on killing heroes too much other than killing buildings. Once your opponent is zoned out, like, I don't know, like here, right? Just don't chase them. Why the fuck would you chase them? Like, chase them into tower range. I mean, it's just show off. Like, just kill the towers as soon as possible. If they come close, then you can chase them. But all you need to do is just zone them out so you can take their axes. Yeah. And also, if you don't have a carry that has high DPS, then you're pretty much fucked. Like, if all your team composition is magical damage and you haven't finished the game by 30 minutes, you're probably going to lose because you don't have any damage, physical damage for late game, or damage to bring down towers. That happens a lot. Like, people pick too many magical based heroes, and they can't even kill. It takes them like 1 minute to kill the tower, all of them attacking at once, because they have no damage whatsoever. Yeah. So you need to adapt that, and if you don't have any physical DPS, build your fucking hero as a physical DPS carry to help your team kill the Raxes if you or when you win a team fight. And if you're passive, if you're the defensive team and you have the late game, all you have to do is just make sure you don't lose. So don't take any risks. Like, if your 4 teammates die, don't trade your life for the 5th person or whatever. Just kind of go back and just like wait for the opponent to make a mistake. And I trust me, they will make a mistake. They will overextend. They will fuck up. They will dive. If they don't dive, then they're really high level, and there's not much you could do about that. And another thing, if you lose a game and your opponent played really well, then just like give them the credit that they deserve. Like, sometimes the opponent plays really well, and there's just nothing you could have done that game. Like, the amount of picks, the amount of cooperation, the amount of teamwork that they had, they did everything perfect. And it's not that you guys played badly, it's just that they outplayed all of you guys because they just like they had teamwork, right? So don't blame your team all the time. Sometimes just give the opponent the credit that they deserve. Like, If I'm playing Pudge and the opponent is just very good and they dodged all my hooks and they outplayed me, I don't get mad. I mean, I get mad at myself, but I don't be like noobs or start talking shit or whatever. I'm just like, good job, guys. You played ball. You deserve to win. But when the opponent has like 5 carries and your team is just stupid and they can't finish the game, and then the game drags out to 50 minutes and they automatically win because they have 5 late game carries and they just win the game because they AWOC and they just kill all of you, then you should be like, oh dude, we suck because like we shouldn't have lost that game. So know when to get upset and know when to not get upset and give credit where credit is due. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys.